Hello knitters, Faye Lynn from Strands Knitting Studio in San Clemente, California. And today I have March to the Finish and some new classes, so stay tuned. Okay, so we're going to start with classes. So coming up, the first one coming up is Sunday, April 12th from 10 to 12, Sunday from 10 to 12, and that's the Fair Isle hat. So you would learn how to do stranding on this, which means you're carrying two colors and you're changing the colors as you go. Like you'll knit two with the white, two with the brown, two with the white, two with the brown. So it's not hard at all. You're just trading your colors. There's different ways you can hold it, but you could also just put it down, pick it up, put it down, pick it up. So it's not hard. Now this is our llama yarn, which I'm going to talk a bit about right now. So this is the llama yarn, and this is a sport weight yarn. And so the original pattern on this is a size 2 needle. So what I'm gonna do, because I did it with the scarf thing that I just finished, we're gonna double strand it, and that gets you up to more like a DK weight, and you'll be on more like a size 6, and you just won't have as many of these going around. It'll be the same pattern. I've worked it out. So it's gonna be the same thing, but you've got less of, like, about half of these to do to make it go all the way around. So it'll go faster that way. Now, if you want to knit on the smaller needle and knit it like this, be my guest. But I am going to have a pattern written up so that you can double the yarn and get through it faster, because a size 2 is that's tiny. And I know most of you don't want to be on a size 2. So I'm pretty sure this puts it like on a size 5 or 6. So yeah, so Fair Isle stranding, it's also called stranding, which, there's tons of sweaters that have the stranded work on the yoke, up here on the yoke or down on the hem and all over. There's tons of color work, hats galore, socks if you want to knit socks. So there's a ton of color work and pattern work right now, and has been for a while. And so this is a new if you haven't done this technique, this is a good one to get under, or at least try. And it isn't that hard. It really isn't. It just slows you down a little bit, but it's not a hard technique. And you're working on charts, but it's not symbols, it's just colors. So it's got two brown squares, two white squares, two brown squares, sort of like a needle point or cross stitch pattern. That's the color graph, and that's sort of what this is. So this class is Sunday, April 12th from 10 to 12. Okay, so I want to also say that we've got the 4 colors for this, and the pattern actually has a black in it. I'm missing a color. Hold on, missing a color. Okay, back. So I've got 5 colors. All right, now the hat actually has a black in it. We don't have the black, but you could easily just, if you wanted to use this dark one, that would, obviously work. But because you have what's behind. So the hat could be out of this, is what the hat's out of. And then you could use this and one of these for the color work. So you'll need 3 skeins. There's 3 colors, the background and then 2 of them that aren't. So you could easily use this. You could put this as the background and then do this and this and this. There's options. And of course, you can also just get a worsted weight yarn and use a whole different yarn if you want. It doesn't have to be this yarn. And since I'm doubling it, it's like a worsted weight. No, it's going to be more like a DK weight. So it'd be more like a DK to worsted. They can be interchangeable. So, but again, you'll need 3 colors. So if you don't want to use the llama, but I don't know why you wouldn't, because it's so dang soft, there are lots of options in the store. So that's the Fair Isle hat. Okay, so then off my needles, and the next class, is it the next? I don't think it's the next class. Fair Isle Dover Cal, yeah. So this is the Wendover scarf. So you just wear it. It's just a, you'll be able to see it though. Oh, it goes so well with what I'm wearing. But anyways, that's sort of how you would wear this, and you would have it, you could do it as tight as you want, where this is sort of just hanging down. So that's the wrong side, and the wrong side looks good too. It's a little different, but it still looks good. and that's the right side. Okay, so that's how you would wear this. And so, as I mentioned last week, it has German short rows. This is actually a really good project to sort of do German short rows on because there's not that many of them and they only go one direction, so it's pretty simple. But that's what creates this, because you're turning in the middle of a row. So you go down to here, you turn around, you do your little German short row and you come back. And so that's how that's being created. And it's also sort of pretty on the back side too. See, I actually really like the way that looks. So, and then you seam it together in the back. So you make the two sides and then you seam it together. But that's the back, right? So you won't ever see it. There we go. So that's Wendover. So this class is going to be April 19th, Sunday, 10 to 12. April 19th, Sunday, 10 to 12. And just like anything, you do not, and I doubled this yarn. I did double this yarn because I needed it for the pattern. The pattern is for a worsted weight yarn. So I doubled it and had plenty left over. And so that's an option, but then you can use any two yarns. So if you wanted to make it not quite so warm, like a cooler, summery kind of thing, you could use some cottons. So we have that, like we have lots of cottons, but that would be cotton and it would be good. You could also just use a different yarn, like this is our Rambouillet, which is lovely. And so you could use Rambouillet. There's two options. There's a ton of options in here. You could use Dream. There's a lot of things you could use. So that class is Sunday. When is it? April 19th from 10 to 12. And again, it does call for a worsted weight yarn. A DK weight yarn would be fine. And we would just push the needle up. If you're in garter, this is all knit, 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 knit. So you can push the needle up when it's all garter because it's filling in the spaces. The bumps fill in the spaces on both sides. So like, I think I pushed this up to a 6. You may want to push it up to a 6 or 7, especially if you're like on a DK weight yarn. But don't worry about it. It's all perfect. And then the third class I'm going to talk about is the Cairns bag. It's a market bag. And this continues to be everybody's favorite bag. And we do this bag a lot in classes. So this is a slip stitch pattern. The original is this Cairns yarn, which we have 4 colors in right now. And it's a ribbon yarn that has multicolors in each stripe, in each strand rather. Every strand has like several colors going. Okay, and then you can put 2 of these together. You can do it in one, just one color. So I have these 4 colors. These 4 colors. And you can mix and match. You can do it in one color, works perfectly fine. It's still just as pretty. Then we also have people that have done it out of the cotton and either like mixed the cotton with a ribbon. So this would be solid background. So that what you have here is you've got the little purl parts. You're gonna purl rows, and then you've got some knit rows in between. So you got, this is one color, this purl part's a color, then you go back to the other color, then the purl part's the color. So you're alternating between the 2 colors. So something like this would be pretty, something like this would be pretty. So you can combine both of these, or you can just do it out of the cotton too, and it's perfectly fine. And so like that would be a really cool looking bag, right? And this one would be a nice looking bag. So you have options with this. It's super fun. It's like the most fun thing, and almost everybody makes more than one of these once they've made the one. Now this is one of those classes that will have homeworks, so you need to come with a square already knitted up. So you're casting on, I don't know, it's like 30 and you're knitting 60 rows or something like that to make the square. So you need to come to class with this knitted up so we can get to the picking up. This is the hardest part of the whole bag, is picking up if you haven't picked up things before. And then we have to add some and knit some until we get to the slip stitch pattern. Once you get into here, it becomes automatic. It's just so much fun to do. So that class, my yarn is covering it all, is April 25th, Saturday from 12 to 2. Okay, and I also have an update for the cable blanket class. So I'm gonna have to push a date. I'm not sure quite when yet because there's shipping issues. So they don't have it in stock right now. They're not quite sure when it's gonna come in stock. So we're gonna give it a week here or so for them to tell us when they are expecting the yarn the yarn, and then I can set the dates. So I'm expecting to be like, hopefully we start within the month, you know, in April sometime. But it may get pushed to April, May, who knows. But I also have in the studio right now, I have two of the blocks. So that's one of the blocks. This is the center block. Yep, lots of fun. Lots of fun. So now you have time to still think about it, and I'll keep you posted on when I think it's going to actually happen. So this is a 1.5-year class. We don't meet every month. We'll meet a couple times pretty regularly, and then I spread out the time so that you're not like working, because this is the second to the smallest block, this one. Then we got 2 of them that are longer, and then we have the 4 corner ones, which are quite large. And so you're going to get like 3 months to do a corner or something. So so there's not as much pressure, you know. You can do other things besides the cable blanket. And so as soon as we hear about the yarn and we know when it's going to be in, I will reset the dates for us and get us started on it. So just stay tuned. So March to the Finish is still going on, and we have until April 1st. I need an email with pictures from you by April 1st. And this is anything you have finished in March counts. So even if it was a brand new pattern and you finished it in March, counts. So just think about things that you're doing, and if you finished a few things, take a picture and email us with the pictures so I can put you into the raffle. So that will go. I need pictures by midnight on April 1st, and then we will pull a name, and yeah. That's going to be the raffle. I don't know exactly what the raffle is yet, but it'll be good. So get your information in. FayLynnKnits@gmail.com. That's the easiest. Then Christine doesn't have to forward it to me. So FayLynnKnits@gmail.com is my email. And just send me an email with your pictures and I'll enter you into the raffle. So that's it for today. And I hope to see you in the studio real soon. Bye.